Hey everyone, welcome back to Mana Mindset. And I'm so excited today that we have a guest named Anabelle. And she is a friend, a client, a student, you name it. And she's taken all of my courses now. But most importantly, she had her own past life regression session, which she regressed to, I think, over 3 lives, or at least 3 lives. And she's here today to just express what that was like. It's really hard. It's really hard to explain what a past life regression really feels like unless you're in the chair. But we're going to do our best today to try to do that. So thank you for being here, Anabelle. And I'm so excited. You're a few days out of my past life regression 4-day certification course. And so how do you feel like you had your very own session, right? Like about a month ago, and then coming and taking the class. How has it been in the last few days after learning the things you've learned?
I think it's I'm super glad that I did the session on me first.
Yes.
And I think my spirit team had been pushing me for that. And I think it was to prepare me for the, because I needed to take the course. It was just like it needed to happen. So I think it just happened in such a way that it just everything aligned. And my session was amazing. And then just coming in to learn about it, like things just made more sense. And like I'm so excited. I'm super excited.
Good.
Super excited.
I mean, how would you explain to somebody, because it's not just past lives, and I teach you guys in class that you can actually go anywhere in space and time and drop in. I mean, sometimes we're having like parallel lives playing out. You can go to the future, you can go, you can be a rock, a mountain, a tree. I mean, really anything, nothing's off limits. An ET, which we saw in class. So, I mean, how would you describe how this helped you so far? And you're still connecting dots, but how this type of session can help someone? Because people ask me all the time, like, why would I get a past life regression session? So what would you just say to somebody who says that?
I think coming into the healing space, you heal yourself right now, what you've gone through in this life and the traumas you've gone through, but a lot of the times it's like it's not enough. There's still more that needs to happen. Then you need to heal your lineage, but still not everything. And then you are wondering why some people might be in your life right now, why some things are happening, why you have some aches and pains or just things that are not healing. And it makes sense that there's more, right? I think it's just that it's not just what is happening right now, but also the people. Why are they in your life? Why are they here again with you? What are they trying to teach you? And I think that's what you can take away, just knowing and understanding the contracts you've made. And I think that for me, that was probably one of the things that I really wanted to figure out as to what the people around me were trying to teach me, or what I was teaching them, what they owed me, what I owed them. But I think it's just to deepen your healing. And really, why wouldn't you want to do that? Like just to free yourself some more from whatever it is you have tied, karma and stuff.
Yeah.
So
it's like better understanding who you are, it's
right.
like tell people, like, if you had like baby pictures you never saw, like, wouldn't you want to see them? Like, if you heard stories about how you grew up, like, you never heard them before, but your aunt and uncle are talking about it, like, wouldn't you want to hear about it?
Right.
And like, learn who you are and understand yourself more, and your, like you said, these different relationships you've had, patterns, how that pertains to this life, because karma doesn't just start and stop in this lifetime.
No.
So in order to understand your lessons and to understand, why things are really hard for some people in this life, while other things are super easy for people, like somehow it always works out for them.
Right.
Or why certain things come naturally for some and not so much for others, or something that seems so simple to you might be like so hard to the next person. And it's not just from this life. It could be stacked from many lives before. So it's really fascinating. So I'm going to start reading when you dropping into your first life. I'm going to read the notes. I didn't fully read them back yet before recording this. So have you heard this back?
I did hear it. I haven't heard the long version. I'm still kind of like processing. So yeah.
And when you're hearing this again, you're going to process more. And that's the beauty, is like after someone leaves the session, they still can connect dots. I tell you guys, like years after the fact, like an aha moment will just pop in, or something they see will just like, oh my gosh, I saw that before in my past life, or you know, so things make sense. So you are still definitely in the processing phase of all of this. And exciting, you know, you didn't just see one, or you didn't just experience one. There's multiple ones here. So I'm gonna do the first one, and then I'll take a just a moment to pause and let you comment on how you're feeling, and anything else you remember that you want to add in for people. So I call this story hour for anyone who just is joining in. This is story hour. I'm gonna read the first life that you dropped into. So you said, the door is at the end of the hallway. It's long and tall, a black door with white light surrounding it. The doorknob is made out of wood with carvings and swirls. So you're walking through the door, and then you say, I'm a boy around 12 years old. And just for people listening in, this is not how fast it goes. There is long pauses between all the information unfolding. So to save time, I'm just reading my notes, but this process takes sometimes 2 to 3 hours in hypnosis. The full session might take 4 to 5 hours. So this is the condensed version. I'm a boy around 12 years old. I'm on the street. It's cobblestone. There's carriages and horses. It's midday. I'm standing. I have a loaf of bread in my hand. I think I'm lost. I feel sad. I don't know. I think I want to find my parents. They are alive. I don't think I have siblings. I'm around my home. I think this town is my home. Paris. Black overalls, a gray hat. I think someone took my parents. An older man took my parents. You started to say your energy felt really sad and helpless at this point. I'm not sure why they took them. They didn't even know him, or they didn't even know my parents. They didn't know each other. We lived in a cottage, but now I don't know where I'm going to go. Other than my parents, I really don't know anyone else. And it felt like the early 1800s. I think you said 1805. And you said, I'm walking to look for my parents. I think my parents needed a job, so the man took them. My parents said, we're coming back, or they were going to come back for me.
Right.
I was just scavenging. I slept in our cottage, the cottage in the town. It wasn't in the town, it was actually in a forest. I didn't have much friends. Not sure of the kind of work my parents signed up for. I just feel sad and thirsty. It's a very empty street. There are other people around here where I live, but not really any kids. Sometimes the adults check on me. They ask me, why are you alone? I don't want their help. They're not my parents. They offered to help to find my parents, but I don't know or trust these people. And then we fast forward a little bit. You said, I'm eating ice cream. A lady gave it to me. I'm in Paris. Lots of people out walking, selling things, the markets. There's carriages going by, women in long dresses. Perhaps the queen is in charge. I don't go to school. Only the rich can get an education. It's been a year since my parents left, and I'm not sure if they are alive. I'm going to find a job. No friends. I don't know how to make friends. So then we go to the second scene, and you are in your mid-20s now. So we moved ahead, and you said, I live in Paris. I work in a building doing something with taxes. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. I just made a connection. I'm not sure about my life. I never saw my parents again. I don't know what happened. I'm sad when I think about my parents, though. I don't think I ever find them. I don't have a partner, but now I have friends. My name is John. I don't really like my job, but I took it because I needed it, and it pays me really well. I live in a nice building. I worked my way up. I like to drink for fun. Yeah, with my work friends.
Mm-hmm.
I think and then I think you noticed one of your work friends in this life. You made a connection.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's something more there. My work friend pursues me, but I don't want anything serious with her. She's a lot younger and she wants something serious. She doesn't give up though. She's really pushy. She's becoming obsessive. She's constantly going to my place, waiting for me. And I tell her to stop, but I think I lead her on and then I push her away. I do that because I really don't have anyone else, but I don't know how to be in like a relationship. I think she kills me. She stabs me in my heart with a knife, with a cooking knife. And it happens in my apartment. I told her I was dating someone. I said it just to say it. And she's really angry now. Well, maybe I'll see my parents when I die. And then you passed away and said that you kind of regret what you did to her. Oh, she regrets. Sorry, you don't. She regrets what she did to you. And she can't live with herself that after she killed you. So a few months later, she kills herself. The police found your body because she had run away. Okay, so I don't know how long your body was there before police found it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think she kind of instantly regrets what she did. How the lessons were, it says you can't like find happiness through anyone else. You said I was trying to fill a void of my parents and I didn't know how to live by myself. Even if I found others, I was still lonely. And then you said parents went off to work in Turkey, actually. They died because they were not treated well. They were there for 2 years working. And then you and that coworker that you recognize crossed paths because she felt like she owes you something in this life. So that was the balance. Like, so you actually met that spirit again in this life. And
Mm-hmm.
because she killed you in your past life, she feels like she owes you something in this one. So you cross paths again. But yeah, how do you feel about hearing that? What a way to go out at the end.
I think it surprised me how during the session it was unfolding, and then all of a sudden it was like, oh, she kills me. I don't know, it was such a, like how it was unfolding, and then it was like, I don't even think you had to take me anywhere, or it's just, oh,
Yeah,
I feel it. And it's, I don't think a lot of people, unless they do this, will understand the actual physical pain you may feel during these sessions.
Oh, where were you? So where were you feeling it?
I felt like here in my heart, like she stabbed me in my heart.
Yeah.
And there's physical pain. I felt the pain.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably one of my biggest takeaways from the sessions, that there's physical pain that may come with it.
And it's almost like a reminder that you still have to like heal yourself in those places, because some of my physical pain as well. And sometimes, luckily I tell you guys to do Reiki during the session before you bring them out, because sometimes that can, like, you can feel it for days after.
Yeah.
But the process we're trying to put in and trying to put in some safeguards is that the person, once they leave that scene, that energy releases out of the body. But I think doing energy work paired with past life regression is really powerful, because to remove out any stuck energy from that past life that still might have trauma in the heart chakra, in the sacral, and sometimes if people are killed in the neck or the head,
Right.
that's important to do some of that energy work there to like move that out. How long were you feeling it in your physically in your
I think probably until you transitioned me to the next life, but then the next life again had
Well, okay. Let me read that. And any other lessons that you took away? I'm just laughing that you did taxes.
Yes.
That one.
I
Yeah.
think that, yeah, that connection right now, yeah, it just hit me too. I'm like, oh, okay. Anything else from that? I think my fascination maybe with France probably lies there.
You
That
knew you had a feeling about that one in the interview process, but you felt very connected to Paris.
I don't know, maybe my soul was trying to find my parents, or yeah, why, from a very young age, I'm like, I'm gonna go to France. And I used to say, I'm gonna marry a French dude one day. And that was like, I was very connected to France. I don't know why, but now I know why.
Yeah.
So just
Do you
one of
have
the
any
things.
feelings about Turkey just because your parents were there? Do you have have you ever wanted to visit there? I'm just curious. Or felt
I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah.
I just, France was just like at
France
the top
feels
of
like
my,
home. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
the top of my list was
You
like,
remember what ice cream you're eating? I just thought that was funny when you're like, I'm eating ice cream. Some lady bought me ice cream.
the ice cream that I was eating, if maybe it was like lemon flavored.
Oh, interesting. So you did get information about like even what you were eating. Yeah.
And I think I did, like, I even felt the taste of the ice cream in my mouth.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So your second life, you had a khaki colored door, blue outline, silver doorknob. So outdoors, daytime, other people are there. I'm in blue turquoise water at the beach. I'm a female, 28 years old. I'm resting. I live here. I have brown skin and black hair. I'm not sure where I am, but I'm wearing a red skirt. I'm not wearing shoes. I have soft material for my top. Other people are wearing shirts and shorts. It might be the 1950s, not sure. I'm on an island eating fish. I'm happy. I create my clothing. I have kids, 3 kids, 2 boys and a girl. I have a husband. He's tall, brown skin. He also creates. And I asked you what, and you said surfboards. My kids surf. Other people do similar things as well. They create. When I asked you what they did for like to support their family, you said they create. I asked you what the political climate was, and you said it was very uncertain. There's no respect. And you said you fear that you won't be able to keep your beliefs and culture. I think the US is the threat. Maybe it's actually the 1850s. So you were going something between 1850 and 1950. I'm in Hawaii. I'm on Oahu. People are scared. They want to protect. They want to protect what, the culture and their way of life. The US wants Hawaii's land and resources. We talk amongst the people. We try to protect our children. But the US is working to restrict our culture. The white people want us to believe what they believe. My heart hurts. I try to take care of my kids. I fear that they will lose their home, their knowledge, and their culture. I think I asked about Hawaiian healers, and then you said they use their hands. They place them on a person. It's a natural healing. It's very peaceful. They use the gifts from the land to heal. They want, and then you said they, as the white people, want to strip Hawaiians of everything. It's more about control for the white man. Our outlook on these people, I think we were too trusting, and they broke a lot of promises to the Hawaiian people. They said they wouldn't take our land or displace our people, and they did. I feel very fearful and helpless. I don't know what to do. I see the number 1868. 1868. I'm almost 40 now. We lost our land. We lost our home. The white people took it. They wanted us to pay them to be there. I can't speak the language. I can't surf anymore. I can't heal. I can't be who I am. It's very different, and I'm very unhappy. We live in another village. It feels like I'm imprisoned on my own land. I'm imprisoned on my own land. They make Hawaiians feel more. Oh, I said, how do they have influence over like some Hawaiians? And then you said they make some Hawaiians feel more important than the other Hawaiians and then like pay them off or give them a home or give them like a position, like a title to make them feel good and justify the things they're about to do. Then we fast forward and it was like late 1800s and you saw yourself as 80 years old. There's a lot of change. I said, what changed? You said, our essence changed. It feels different. Before, it was about community, helping each other, and lots of love. Now it feels like selfishness, individualism, the way of the white man is to divide and to create competition. There's pain in everyone's chest, and it hurts. You complained about your chest hurting.
Mm-hmm.
You said, we did what we could, but the queen was overthrown. The kids work in their jobs in the fields for the white people. I think you said in the plantation, that's where you saw your kids working, because they're adults now. I died of old age. I outlived my husband. I have grandkids. The political climate was the same when I died. The lessons are, I was unhappy for a long time. Regardless of what's happening around me, though, I cannot base my happiness on outside circumstances. That's a good lesson, that you can't base your happiness on outside circumstances. I need to question authority if it doesn't feel right. I need to ask for guidance. I need to follow what my heart is telling me. And if it doesn't feel right, don't do it. My children now were my children in that life. And my kids are here in this life to teach me patience. And then I think you mentioned about that people would do healing work back then as well. And in secret.
Yeah.
I asked you, how can we help transform the energy now? Because it's still heavy now. It's still heavy in Native Hawaiians' hearts. Their root chakra is affected because they, like you said, imprisoned on their homeland. Many can't afford to even stay there. And that's affecting that. And then their heart chakra is so heavy because we know, and I teach you guys in class, that in order to fully heal, you have to forgive. But it's hard to forgive when every day you see the same thing and it's being shoved in your face, and nothing's changing. So it's easy to just focus on that and feel resentful and frustrated and angry, you know. But you talked about how our heal team will go back home and offer up our services and energy work, and maybe even be by the water and like helping them just like cleanse and release all the pain that they could feel in their heart. What did you feel? I mean, you have a lot more lessons, but I think these are good for you to take with you, as you saw. But you did see us going back to Hawaii and helping as a team.
Yeah.
We could, and I need to keep speaking, and I need to keep talking about the history. And a lot of people don't know about Hawaiian history, and they have not pieced it all together, and they don't understand why Hawaiians are in the position we're in. The energy of the collective that's so heavy still.
Yeah.
What, I mean, I know you talked about how, when you came out of it, how much you felt in your body, but can you describe what that felt like?
Initially, you know, there was some sort of like joy when I first, you know, came into this life. And then it was fear. There was fear. And then towards the end, there was pain. And even now listening back to it, it's like, I don't know, something in my body kind of like I kind of want to protect my heart. It's, I don't know, and like it gets me emotional. even the other day during class, just listening
yeah.
to her past life, it there's just something that I mean, I understand now, but I think it's still there, where that injustice
Yeah.
that, you know, I and I'm including myself, that we had to go through, and now Native Hawaiians are still going through. I think it's, and you know, like you said, just continuing the education and the healing, because
Yeah.
nothing's gonna change if we don't start now.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think you mentioned that, you know, we need to all continue to heal the unhealed parts of ourselves and no more blaming, because it's just like this evil circle, this evil cycle that if you stay in that energy of anger, that low vibration of anger, we're never going to heal. And you said Hawaiians harm themselves by not healing or letting go, you know, and it's not just them, everyone who hangs on to the anger and to the pain and the
Right.
resentment and wants it to go back in time, when we can't go back in time. All we have is the present, and what we choose to focus on, what we choose, and how we can shift our narrative, and find solutions versus focusing on the problem. And you actually said this is a political disgrace that continuously needs to be brought to attention and talked about, and that we need to speak on the history of Hawaiians and why it is, you know, but also focus on solutions, because if we just keep replaying like the past, which we know it's, you know, white people came, we know what happened. If we keep replaying that with no solutions in place, no steps forward in place, no hope, then it's just going to feel really heavy all over again. But I know your chest felt really heavy, and then in class, you heard Nikki Adarna's Past Life Regression, which was around this exact same time. Do you think, I read in the notes, I think I might have been there with you, or do you remember how we met before, or why we're back in this situation together in this life?
I was trying to see if you were there. I don't know if you were. I think it'd be something to kind of revisit. But I definitely know that we have been together before. That for sure came through. And I think you know, just like me and everybody on the team, you're here to continue to educate us and help us remember who we are as healers, and to guide us, to continue to guide us.
And I was thinking about this, like, you know, I don't know if I was Japanese in a past life, but because as a Hawaiian, we had to keep our healing in secret.
Yeah.
Other than someone I call an auntie who passed away, there is no one that is kind of stood out as a mentor to me that's Hawaiian, that like took me under their wing, other than Auntie Jerry who passed away. But like, I don't have like a Hawaiian mentor to like teach me that. And so Reiki, what is in honor of my mentor who came into my life when I needed it, and she's Japanese and she taught me Reiki. But it's all the same when you're channeling love and life force energy. You're channeling mana with your mana, channeling aloha, and just sending that to people to empower them. And so it's in essence the same thing. I just had a different mentor, you know. But had we not had to suppress our healing gifts, I might have had more Hawaiian mentors around me growing up, more, you know, because they had to practice in secret and to do the healing work in secret.
Yeah.
And it sucks that we're still, you know, I don't like the word decolonizing, but we're still, because it has the word colonize in it, but we're still catching up. Like, people still look at us funny when we do our healing work, and it's almost like we can't talk about it out loud around some people. It makes them uncomfortable and all these things. But that was from the colonizer. They made indigenous people, and they, you know, they made all cultures feel like they had to like hide that part
Yes.
Because it scared them. It scared them because they couldn't do it.
Right.
Right. And so how could a woman possibly be more powerful than a man and use her hands to heal somebody? Oh, that's scary. So I'm just gonna like make them not do that, or call her a witch, or call her all these other names.
Right.
So it's really fascinating how that still plays out, and we're in 2022.
And you see that everywhere, all over the world. You see that. Unfortunately.
Yeah. And so I would hope that Hawaiians could remember that their ancestors laid hands and use herbs to heal. And that's before Western medicine, that's how they healed. Was just through love and through the land.
Yeah.
It's that simple. So if anyone's listening to this, that's all Reiki is as well. It's just through love and just through energy and life force energy. Don't get hung up on the word.
Right.
It's what's true, what the essence of it is the same thing. Yeah. So you had a third life, daytime. So you dropped into the third life. It was daytime. You're female, 14 years old, by yourself, sitting outside the porch in a big house. This felt like the 1940s. So it was a life right after the Hawaiian life. You were in Georgia, white skin, blonde hair. My mom is a housewife and my dad sells land. So fascinating that the life before, there was a tumultuous stuff around land in Hawaii and people losing their land. And then in this life, you had to be in the opposite, where your dad sells land and he's a realtor. My brother is younger. I don't know how I feel about my life. I feel not cared for by my parents. My dad's not around much. My mom doesn't pay any attention to me. My mom hangs out with her friends, drinks, plays cards, and smokes. I literally had like such a strong image when you said that. Me and my brother play outside with kids. I want to be a writer when I grow up, an author, a journalist. I think my mom doesn't like me. She's very mean. I feel like more of a burden to her. She actually treats my brother better than me. I think my dad isn't my dad. He left. He didn't want to be with my mom. So I think you were confused about who exactly was your real dad.
Right.
Yeah. I think I asked you, is there another adult in your life that you feel close to? And you said, I think I connect with my teacher. She's kind. She taught me how to write. I think my teacher is Jennifer in this life, who is your friend.
Yes.
I think my teacher is single. I don't think she has a family. My mom doesn't want me to be a writer. She says I need to find a husband instead. She wants me to look for a husband. She wants to look for a husband for me. Basically, she wants to get rid of me. Let me be someone else's responsibility. And you actually made an identification of how you know your mom in that life, and you made the identification with a soul in this life that you cross paths with. The second scene, you said, I'm older now. My mom found a husband for me. He works for the newspaper. And then I think you said, he works in the print shop, helps print the papers. He's not actually a writer. I moved away from that town I lived in. I don't live close to the teacher anymore, but I'm still in Georgia. I care for my husband, but I don't love him. We don't have kids. We don't want kids. You said you have a fear that you won't love your kids. I think that's why you didn't want to have kids. I have a fear I won't love my kids. Like, I can guess how your parents treated you.
Right.
Me and my brother don't really talk anymore. My mother harbored a lot of hate towards me. I never found out who my real dad was. My mom was just ashamed of herself. I don't talk to my mom at all. I never went for the job at the paper that I really wanted. I never really tried to live a life that I wanted as a writer. My mother placed a lot of self-doubt in me over the years. She said my dreams as a writer was stupid and that I was stupid. And then you said it hurts in my chest. So 3 lives in the heart chakra, in the chest. I just stayed at home taking care of the house. I cooked and I read for fun. We fast forwarded the scene. You said, I'm older, I'm sick. Something's wrong with my heart. I take a lot of medication from the doctor, but the medication doesn't work. Lessons are, so I guess you saw that you passed, and these are, don't let anyone deter me from my dreams. Ask for help. The way that someone else sees me does not define me. It's the way I see myself. Jennifer is with me again in this life. She helped me once. Now I need to help her. That's what you said. You said, I'm scared of writing because I might not be good enough. That's what you said. You had just like a thought. But writing in this life has helped me heal. And my words might help others heal. You held a lot of emotions. You held on to them from your past lives. A lot of resentment, a lot of blame. And that you need to feel compassion instead.
Right.
And pertaining to the mother, the soul that you know in this life that you believe is your mom in that life, you said that not to have any expectations. And then you found out that your partner in this life is your person. We had questions, or you had questions for your spirit team about that. Healing is your purpose in this life, and that you needed to learn past life regression this year, which thank God you did.
Right.
And just that mentally you need to shift to a place of abundance. So that was one of your downloads from your spirit team. And just take time to regroup sometimes. I think sometimes you're going too fast and you need to just slow down and regroup. And then, it's not like you need a long time to regroup. You just, might need a couple of days or something, but it's okay to do that. And that that your dad should take herbal remedies for his healing, because it's so funny. I forgot that you saw that your medicine didn't work for your heart.
Right.
Yeah, and then you passed away. So definitely a lot of herbal medicine references in here, how to like heal with the land. And it just says to just continue to be mindful and don't be so hard on yourself. And you're doing it. You're like, it was not, you didn't get any scoldings from your spirit team, not big scoldings anyway. But how do you feel now, just kind of hearing those 3 lives back?
I feel like I needed to hear a lot of that, definitely. I also feel like I can see why I have asthma.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it just completely makes sense. 3, I think these were probably my 3 consecutive lives before this one, and I have so many issues with my heart. And now, and I was like 2 months old when they diagnosed me with asthma. So
wow.
That
if that is a pattern, people who have asthma issues really bad, especially from like really young, if that's a carryover from heart chakra stuff.
So I'm wondering, so I'm thinking that, but yeah, I feel like that after that too, my abundance, my mindset I was feeling a lot of lack. And now I'm like, oh wow, things are opening up, things are shifting, opportunities are coming, and I feel so happy. Like I feel very blessed. I don't know. I feel good.
Good.
Yeah.
I think that's such an interesting comment though, about how we can feel physical things in our body, because you definitely felt a lot in your heart. But you just had me think about something, because I didn't get diagnosed with asthma till like my early 20s. And I got shot in the chest in Vietnam. That's how I died. I got shot in the chest. A sniper shot me in the chest in my past life. And then around my early 20s, my fiance at the time was, in Iraq. So it's kind of like weird that is a time that my chest would start to hurt again, because that's like this war life connection of me being at war, and then like in this one, me being a person who supports someone in war. And yeah, so I got asthma randomly in my early 20s. Never had issues with my chest. It's always kind of been my stomach. Until my like early 20s, then like chest stuff. And then now too, I still have like chest. So chest and stomach. I'm always like hand on heart, hand on belly.
Yeah.
Reiki. So yeah, if people are interested in this work, they can reach out and we can get you connected, to facilitate for them, especially if they're in the Bay Area, because I always teach you guys that you have to do it in person. It's just, it's not the same virtually, and too many things can happen that wouldn't make the session, one, go as deep, and two, if this Wi-Fi thing ever gave out, that person it wouldn't be a good way to just leave them there by themselves. No. You can't facilitate to bring them out of that situation. Yeah. So if anyone's interested, they can reach out to us. I'm gonna just leave my information below and I can get you in touch with Anabelle. But thank you for being on and sharing your story. And let's just be really clear, you're not Hawaiian in this life.
No.
Right? What are your ethnicities?
Well, I was born in Mexico.
Yeah.
So I'm Mexican.
How do you feel though to be Mexican and to see some of this? And you probably did not know the history. You didn't know in depth. No. You never read into any of this.
No, nothing. I mean, nothing. Even now I'm just like, wow, I did not know what Hawaiians went through. I had no clue.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there was some, history books that we probably skimmed through and kind of went, but do we even really know if all that is written on these history books is the truth? Yeah. No, we can't even trust that. But
who's writing it? Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm Mexican, and even in Mexico, I identify to what happened to Hawaiians because of the, the Spaniards coming into Mexico and taking over and colonizing and converting and killing the women and doing all these other crazy things. So it's very similar stories, and I mean, really, like it's still like processing. Wow, I had a life in Hawaii. It's that's crazy.
When you go and visit, it's not going to look the same. It's going to look
right.
It's going to look very different.
Yeah.
And you were on Oahu. That's what you did. You actually said Oahu on there too.
So I'm gonna have to go soon.
Yeah, and you need to go to the palace and like just be on Iolani Palace grounds and see how you feel when you at that building.
Yeah.
But if anyone doesn't know Hawaiian history, that's a great time to go and Google that and read it from the Hawaiian's point of view perspective.
Right.
But thank you so much for being on, and I can't wait to see all the good work that you do and you help other people have their aha moments and their healing through facilitating these sessions for them. Yeah.
Thank you. I'm so excited.
So much. And if you guys like the video, please like the video, share the video, comment, or subscribe to the YouTube channel. Have a good night, everyone.
Good night.